Welcome, everybody, to the JJ and Pug Show. It is, if you can believe it, April 17th.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, I don't even know what happened to April.
I don't know what happened to March, February, January. Like, dude, I mean, it's just blowing by.
So fast. So earlier today, I was already proud of myself. I was ready for when you got here. I had everything set up. There was no
ghost in the machine.
Well, I mean, we'll find out.
I guess that's true.
But anyway, so I was all prepared myself because at lunch I came home and I got it set up. I got everything set up to where it's supposed to be. Tested it out. Good. Done. And I went to go save the file and I save it by the date.
Oh yeah.
And I was like 4/17. At the time, I just tapped it in, no problem. Or
yeah.
I forgot about it. Come back, loading this thing up, ready for you when you get here. And I go to look and I'm like, 4/17. I must have done that wrong. There's no way it's the 17th. And I look at my watch. I'm like, holy crap, it is.
It's just flying by. We're already like a third of the way through the year.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
that's crazy.
That is. I mean, the draft's next week.
I know, it's freaking nuts.
NFL draft for those of you who are unaware of what we're talking about.
Congratulations to Caitlyn Clark because I know she listens to this, so we'll let her know that. Yeah. Congratulations going number one overall.
Yes.
Even though, did you see how pathetic her contract is?
No, I didn't see it.
4 years, right?
Yeah.
It's the show. It starts out at like $76,000.
Okay.
First year, it makes its way up to like $96,000 for the final year with an option to extend or whatever.
That's like the WNBA.
I know, but why would you? I mean, I don't know. I would have went to 303.
She can still get her, endorsements. She can still go to those places.
She's going to make plenty of money.
Yeah.
But it's still wrong. But it's not in the sense of they don't make any revenue. So like it is what it is, but it just seems like it should be so much more.
You think that, but then again, you have
to remember. But then you go to a game.
Yeah,
there's no 7 people in the stands.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, there is hope. There is hope that she's going to raise the ceiling for that league.
I hope so.
Just the way she did. I mean, because, dude, college, did you ever, and I mean, in my lifetime, I can tell you of maybe 3 times where there was a college basketball player on the women's side that actually broke through and became somebody that you knew of. No, Diana Taurasi was the first one.
Yeah, but that was years ago.
That was when we were in high school, dude. That was forever ago.
Yeah.
Right? And then it was it Paige Beckers? I think Paige Beckers. And I think it was only because I think she's still playing at UConn. Someone's gonna come at me and tell me I'm a misogynist because I don't remember this for sure.
Who cares?
I know the name, and I'm pretty sure she plays.
I think you're right. I know that name sounds really familiar, but I couldn't tell you how I would know it. But if you're saying chicks basketball, it's probably right.
Exactly. But the point that we're trying to make here is everybody knows Caitlyn Clark.
Yeah.
Everybody knows her. So is it going to be like where she raises the profile of the league? Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
But it's going to take a lot. And it's because the problem is I know we weren't going to talk about sports today, but we can't help it in this whole thing.
Oh, we'll explain that later, but go on.
So she's phenomenal, but the problem is the rest of the players on the court aren't as good. So when you can't just don't get me wrong, there are some stellar female WNBA players, but Caitlyn Clark has set herself up as somebody completely different. So she's kind of setting her tone. She's created her own image. I mean, she is the Steph Curry of female basketball, 100%. So she's starting to do that. But the issue is you're not going to get the buy-in, I think, from the rest of the viewers because that's one person on one team that does that. Now, I mean, the NBA is different, obviously, because as we're watching right now, there's not one name on that court right now with the Atlanta-Chicago game that I could probably tell you off the top of my head. But when you watch it, it's still everybody's at a high level of play. And in the WNBA, they're high level of play for females, but they're not high level of play for viewership.
Did you? Yeah, for viewership.
Yeah.
I think I sent you this clip of a guy explaining why he loved watching.
Oh, yeah.
It's because he's like,
brilliant.
He's like, because they're playing a brand of basketball that, I could play.
That he could relate to.
And he's like, I'm not saying that I'm as good as these girls. I'm just saying that I can play that brand of basketball.
Yeah.
I can't dunk.
Nope.
I can't, do what these guys do in the NBA. That's fantasy land.
Yeah,
but I can learn how to shoot. Learn how. You can watch Caitlyn Clark play and be like, oh yeah, that's amazing that, she's shooting from deep like that. Maybe I could try that out. Kind of like Steph Curry. Steph Curry is what kind of brought basketball down to the everyman.
Yeah.
Because I say everyman. Steph Curry's still 6'3". He's still taller than.
He doesn't look like
no, because he's amongst giants.
Yeah,
right?
I'm that tall, and I don't feel like he looks as tall as I am running around there. He looks tiny.
It is crazy because I remember seeing there's this picture of Steph Curry going courtside to say hi to George Kittle, who plays for the 49ers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, best tight end in the NFL.
Arguably. Yeah.
And he's staring at him face to face. And George Kittle on the football field
looks like a monster.
He looks like a monster.
Yeah.
And so it really brings it down like, holy crap, these guys in the NBA, they are so huge. I mean, I remember the first realization I had was when Steve Nash, when he had his run with the Suns. And he looked so small. And some of it was the way that he would play with the kind of a forward bend. So he's always squatting down a little bit. But then when you realize Steve Nash is every bit of 6'3". Yeah. Every bit of it.
And there's no way.
Yeah.
He looked 5'10".
Yes. He looked my size.
Yeah, he did. He's just like you said, but he's an insect among gods out there, dude.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And yeah, so I mean, out in the general public, you look at this guy. If he was in Taiwan, he stands above the entire crowd, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I say that only because I had a cousin who went in his 2-year mission to Taiwan, and he's 6'6", and it's a picture of him in this market, and he is. I mean, his shoulders are above everyone's heads.
Oh, yeah.
It's just funny.
It's going to be so uncomfortable at first.
I know, but for him, I thought it was awesome.
Oh, no, I think it'd be great, but it's going to be funny. Like, holy crap.
Absolutely. But so back to what JJ was saying earlier when he said, even though we said we weren't going to talk about sports tonight, we decided what we want to do is we want to have a Sunday night podcast that's dedicated to the sports, and we're going to do our Wednesday night podcast dedicated to non-sports.
To everything else.
Yeah, to everything else. But the one thing we cannot promise is that sports won't leak its way in because
like it just did.
That's what we started with.
But that was to recognize Caitlyn Clark. I mean, that's not just sports. That's women's sports moving forward. You're seeing change and evolution in their sport. So it's a good thing, right? Like, it's good for them to see. And she's a different caliber of player. And I think whether you're a sports fan or not, you got to appreciate her game.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I mean, it's one of those things where you'd hope, again, that she raises the profile. Maybe the WNBA does a little bit more. But in truth, I think one of the reasons why it probably wouldn't is because when you are in college sports, you already have a built-in fan base of a couple, like a couple tens of thousand, right? If you just go into a university, there's already people that are rooting for the university because the alma mater.
Those kids aren't even paying for tickets. Probably it's part of their student stuff.
Right.
I'm sure.
So I mean, they're already going.
Yeah.
And then you add that to the people that went to University of Iowa or UConn or wherever these other universities are that still have that pride of their alumni. They're still going to watch on TV. That builds. But how many people even knew that the Indiana basketball team was called the Fever?
No idea.
No idea. I mean, I don't think many people did. Right? How many people could name all 14 teams in the WNBA?
First off, I would have never known there were 14.
And I was just about to say, I don't know there's 14.
Yeah,
I think there's 14.
I couldn't. I mean, the Sparks and the Mercury and now the Fever.
Yeah.
I mean, and the Lynx.
Liberty.
The
Lynx, the Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah, something like that.
I always kind of funny was with a lot of the WNBA teams. And it makes sense because, again, they are subsidized by the NBA.
Right.
NBA owners typically own a WNBA team as well. And the teams almost always mirror the NBA team in a lot of ways, color scheme and similar names. So that's kind of how I figured.
Suns.
Mercury, Suns, exactly. Knicks, Liberty, same color scheme, but New York.
Yeah.
But anyway, who knew we were going to talk about the WNBA?
No one. We have nothing really written down today to talk about, which is great because I love these kind of conversations. They just kind of start because you just made me think of like, what we're going to talk about, like how do you're going to be putting 3 kids through college. Right? I mean,
we're going to have to try.
Well, we're going to try, right? Same with me, right?
Yeah.
When is it going to be addressed that we lower college tuition?
Dude, I was just reading an article about this today. I kid you not. I was just reading it about today. And one of the gist of the article was basically saying that if you were to poll everybody that has kids that are getting ready to go to college, and if you were to ask them how much do they think a college degree costs, what the poll found out in this article was that most families couldn't guess within $5,000 of the cost per semester. They had no idea.
Yeah.
They had no idea what it was. Huh. And it was just one of those things where it's, first off, when you go, I know this from when I remember when I was looking up tuition costs when I was going for my degree. And I remember it was always, if you looked it up online, they wouldn't really tell you what it cost. It was, this is the estimated cost to go to school per semester.
Credit hour or something.
Well, no, not even credit hour. It was like, this is the cost per semester. And it's like, but I'm not going to student housing. I already have my own food budget and figure. Just tell me what the freaking school costs.
Yeah.
What's it going to cost me to go to this school?
Books and classroom.
And they don't include books.
Of course not.
Because That depends. What class are you taking?
Books are expensive, and it's like out of control, and you have to give them back.
Yeah, well, this is the thing that kills me about books. No, you don't have to give them back.
Oh,
That's
good.
the problem. You buy them, you'll never use it again.
And you should just like give it back.
And the thing is, you'd love to say, well, I can sell it back. And yeah, but then it's outdated.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you might be able to sell it back if it's like an English, textbook that the English language ain't changed much in the last, I don't know, 1,000 years. We add words to it, but, typically it's about the same. But if you're talking about any kind of history book, if you're talking about a science book, dude, science outdates crap all the time.
It's crazy.
Dude, every month we find out that the diet we've been following is apparently going to kill us all tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Diets are the best. Dude, any kind of health book telling you a diet, hey, this week it's this one, tomorrow it'll be this. I love dieting talk.
Did you get that reel I sent you about a guy that was basically being told that everything he was doing was wrong, it was going to kill him, and he was just being super sarcastic?
Of course, yeah.
Dude, it is.
Truth.
It's truly, because one of those things that no matter how many things that you think you're doing right, someone's going to come and tell you, especially on social media, oh, this is a horrible thing. You're going to kill yourself early by doing this.
And, I've learned that diets are, I really want to get like that thing done that Chalet did about her, like what you're allergic to food-wise, what's good for you. Yeah, just because I think that would play a huge factor in your diet if you're really paying attention to wanting to lose weight. If you're eating eggs causes inflammation, well, then your body's retaining water, so that's why you can't lose the weight, right? Yeah. Something like that. That'd be really beneficial. But for the most part, like keto may work really well for you, but for me personally, it doesn't work at all.
I'll tell you, I'm not going to try to find out. So
no, keto's it's an interesting one. I think people work, and I think it works for certain times. But I don't know how you live without carbs.
No.
Like listen, and I'm not even talking bad carbs, right? Yes, I could never live without pizza. I don't care if pizza gave me the craps, dude. I would eat pizza once a week and just deal with the suffering, dude. I don't care.
I've been watching so much Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now.
Oh my gosh,
and, Scully and what's the other guy? Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Scully and Hitchcock. And they're like, you guys are lactose intolerant. I'm like, yeah, but we deal with it anyway.
Yeah, we deal with exactly. That's how I would be with pizza. If I had an allergy to like gluten or whatever, I'm sorry, I would just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just going to embrace the suck at this point.
Well, it's also like this is the way I've been living my life. I don't know any different. Happy.
I've been fine. I've been dealing with a stomach ache every day. I've had a pizza. I'm good. I've kind of gotten good with it,
Yeah, but it is crazy because going back to the college thing, I am a firm believer that college is good. It's important. It's not necessary for everybody, right? I mean, there was an article I wanted to talk to you about later a while ago, but it's kind of like it's kind of lost its importance to me, and that was calling Generation Y Generation Tool Belt. It was a Wall Street Journal article that I read. And it's basically saying that a lot of kids, that these Zoomers, instead of going to universities for a degree that they may or may not need in their chosen profession, they're instead going and getting blue-collar jobs.
Which is great.
It's great. It's great because, one, I'll tell you this right now, we have a massive shortage in blue-collar workers.
And they make good money.
They make good money.
It's hard work.
It is hard work.
But you're going to make some good money.
And some of the reasons why we've always been told not to do it is, well, you can't get health insurance. What about your retirement plan? What about, the benefits the companies are like? But yeah, also I'm going to go into a job possibly starting at $80,000 a year if I can work hard enough, and I'm not going to have any student debt. I'm not going to have a $200,000 weight hanging around my neck for the first, 15 years of my life trying to get this paid off because insurance turned it from $200,000 to X amount. So there's a lot of them that are looking at it and saying that, I just can't afford college. But college is still important. You learn a lot of stuff in it.
So here's the thing. My opinion. College is a joke, unless mechanical engineering, something that you need to learn about, right? Like something that you're like, look, you're learning about how to do something, right? But like the mere fact that you would get credit if we were applying for a job, and a degree gave you credit, and I had no degree, and you had an underwater basket weaving degree, you'd get more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's an exaggeration, but my point is, it's out of control what we require. Like most jobs in the workforce. Having a degree does not make you better or smarter. It makes you maybe look more educated. It could. It could.
But there's a big asterisk in front of the word "could," because, go on, finish your point. Then I'll come in line.
I feel like it's something that at one point it was very popular, but because of I guess college could be more important to me if it wasn't so darn expensive for everybody. Like, make it affordable, make it something where everybody it's attainable. Where, doctors, I get you got to go to college for that, right? Like, that's just dumb. Lawyers, law is almost more complicated than the human body. Like you could dissect words in the law that it's out of control.
Absolutely.
Those things make sense. But you're going for like, you can name anything that's not relevant to I'm trying to think hospitality. What? Like what is it? What is a bachelor's? What is that? Just go work and go learn how to do the job, right? Because if I come out of college and I've got a hospitality management degree versus a guy or a girl that's been in hospitality management
and actually doing the job
for 10 years,
right.
You're going to say you're going to hire the guy because he has a degree? And quite honestly, have you been to online schooling?
I actually, I have.
I'm convinced they don't grade crap. I mean, I'm probably wrong, and I'm being somewhat facetious, but like, dude, like I don't know, man. Like you figure if you're a teacher on online. And if you're a teacher and you're listening to this and you're an online teacher, I would love to talk to you about this because I'm curious. If you have, let's say you're running 4 classes, 30 people in each class, because it's all online, right? You have a ton. Mm-hmm. You're going to tell me you're reading 120 papers? No. Get out of here.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. Dude, that's phenomenal. Have you used that?
I didn't like it. I tried it out. I wasn't a big fan of it.
Dude, then you need to reword what you want to know because I'm telling you right now, it is, you know what it's good for? I don't think it's so much good for paperwork. Like, I mean, essays are essays. It's actually hard to do it. You can't ask it to do a 5,000 word essay. It won't do it. But like, have it build you a resume. I did that for Jana when she was going to college or getting her. Mm-hmm. Dude, phenomenal. I had it write me a speech I had to give.
Did you read it for word for word?
Huh? No, but I was able to at least like take chunks of it that I wanted and make it applicable to what I was trying to say. Phenomenal.
I was gonna say, everybody, when we were talking about doing this, Jason's like, I just used ChatGPT and said, how do I start a podcast? And he copy and pasted it and said the whole thing to me.
Dude, I'm serious. It gives you everything. And these kids nowadays, I mean, where these teachers, I think, are catching it, and I would love to have asked your teacher buddy, is because of the wording. Like, if they just kind of copy and paste and they don't look at the words. I mean, if you're a teacher and you're skimming and you see expeditious on there and you know that kid's never used that word before, you're like, hey, what does that word mean?
So I actually saw somebody that said what they were doing was like basically using red herrings in their prompts. So in those kids that would just copy whatever the request was and paste it would get words that would show up in their essay that had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. And it'd be words like albatross. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it has nothing to do with it, but because she put it in the prompt, and when ChatGPT read it, it's like, well, I got to figure out how to put albatross in here. So albatross, you know what I mean? It's in there. And so she just Control F, find the word. Okay, you definitely just used ChatGPT.
But it works. It's so much fun to mess with, dude. You should just spend some time, like spend an hour just messing with ChatGPT about random stuff. Have it write new vows for your wife. Something stupid.
Well, I did. I tried it out for the weirdest thing. So for me, I think I've made this clear. I freaking love sports video games. I love them. They're so freaking cool today. I wish that I could be a dude. Oh, I'm so excited for this summer. But like NBA 2K,
I might come over and play you in that.
Dude,
like,
let's do it.
I'm serious.
Let's
I haven't played that in a minute, but I would definitely come back to play that.
Hasn't been around for a minute.
We definitely should play that.
I would love it. So anyway, you can be super, super customized in NBA 2K when you create a team. Like you can go. So anyway, for fun, I went to ChatGPT and I'm like, create team using these, parameters. You know what it came back, dude? The crap it gave back was so awful. I'm like, no, it's terrible.
Hey, Salt Lake just got a new Coyote hockey team. What's a good name for Salt Lake? Ask ChatGPT.
Oh, you know what? Hey, you should try that right now.
I'm going to.
You try that right now because I don't want to. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of messing with anything on the computer. That's got to stay. But back to what we were saying originally when it comes to college, there is a huge, huge, huge problem with the cost of going to university now. It is absolutely out of control. And as a sports fan, I look at it and say one of the biggest reasons for that is we worry and we put so much money into our collegiate athletics where it's like, is that really where we should be spending the money? And I haven't seen the accounting from any university, so I'm not pretending like I have insider knowledge, but if the cost to improve the things at universities like their athletic dorms, the gyms, the university's athletic arenas, stadiums, basketball courts, whatever it is, if any of that money is coming from tuition, then we got a problem.
Yeah.
Because I love college sports. It's so fun. Even though I don't like college basketball, I watch it. Like college football, that's something that we're going to have to talk about later. I keep having this thing on there. Are we ever going to love college football again? Because it's the same thing with college basketball. We're going down a slippery slope on that. But I'm not talking about now. Sunday. But the point I was going to say is, if any of those improvement costs are coming from students' tuition, then we have a massive problem, because it's not necessary. It's cool. It's not necessary. And it is absolutely destroying people's finances in their future.
Well, and that's the thing. You're setting these kids up with so much debt coming out. Like, I mean, it's bad. I mean, and I would say even doctors, like, it's just out of control. Like,
it is.
You're an anesthesiologist. Cool. You graduated. You got your degree. But you've got $250,000 in student loans.
With accruing interest.
And you're like, what? Like, how? Oh, so hey, for the next, it's okay. We got you a payment plan, $1,200 a month for the next 10 years. You'll be paid off. What?
Yeah.
Like, and they have no choice, right?
No.
You can't get rid of it.
No, unless Joe Biden gets his thing.
Woo, yeah. But it's not. I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I think we're setting our future for our kids up. It's like giving them a credit card that's maxed out already.
Yeah. Yeah, and saying deal.
And now here you go. Good luck. Make your minimum payments, and eventually.
But at least you'll get a credit card, a credit score out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the same thing. We're like, okay, you get something from this, but you're going to be paying this off for forever.
It's crazy.
Like I said, it's that millstone around your neck that's just going to drag you down to the bottom. And it can, dude, it's something that I do have a hard time with, because I do believe that, getting a college education is a good thing. I don't think it's necessary.
Right.
I'm going to make it clear. I don't think it's necessary. But I do think it's an incredibly important thing. Getting education is a good thing. Learning is a good thing.
Yeah,
it's a
growing.
very good thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
And I don't like the idea of, stymieing it and saying, nope, sorry, can't do it, can't afford it. Because how many universities do we have in this country?
A ton.
Dude, I remember when I was in Arkansas, every stinking town I was in had a university to some extent. Shoot, dude, University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, right? They had a university. It's an HBCU. HBCU.
Historically Black College University.
Yes, exactly. And Memphis, University of Memphis. When I was in Conway, there's University of Central Arkansas. Scottie Pippen went there, baby. How about that one? Do you know that?
No, I actually did not.
University of Central Arkansas, Conway. So, I mean, and then I had another one. It had a Methodist university there. And that was a small town of 60,000 people. And there are two universities there, 2 4-year universities. And then Little Rock has University of Little Rock, which is where Derek Fisher went. Remember him?
Oh, yeah. Of course I remember Fisher.
I know these boys, man. You know Teron Armstead?
No.
Left tackle for he was left tackle for the Saints for a long time. Really good. Now he's with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I knew
Teron,
yep.
He went to University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. So, I mean, these are universities putting pros out there.
Right.
In tiny towns. We have them all over the place. There's no reason that you should graduate college, we'll say with a 4-year, just a general degree, right? Nothing specialized, not a graduate degree, not a medical degree, a general 4-year degree. How could you justify that costing more than $10,000 a year? I even think that's high, but
that's super high. But still, like, it's crazy. But if you're giving them food and room, okay, like if that's all encompassing, you're like, okay, you know what, $10,000 a year.
I'm just talking just tuition.
I know, but that's crazy.
It is.
Okay, here's a controversial question, but I really don't know the answer. So if it comes off wrong,
I don't have to look it up then.
Yeah, in a HBCU, can any other type ethnicity attend?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that and that's a genuine ignorant question. I just don't know the answer, because when you hear what it stands for, a historically Black college university, do I have to only be Black to go there or not?
No. So this is a very funny, firsthand experience with this, and I found it hilarious. So when I was in Pine Bluff, actually, I'm going to look up the demographics of Pine Bluff right now before I put my foot in my mouth, because when I was there, the racial demographics of Pine Bluff was about 60,000 people. It was 93% African American. It was 6% white and 1% other. Any kind of mixed race or something like that, right? And now what I'm looking at it right now, this is the 2024 census. Black or African American, 77.4% in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So it's gone down, and white is 18%. 2 or more is 2.5%. So,
which that's gone down considerable.
I also know that there's been a massive exodus from the city, because it's a very dangerous city.
Really?
It's got a real rough history. It's real rough. But anyway, when I was there, we were in the mall. And we went to this airbrush shop. If you know what airbrushing is, everybody, get a T-shirt.
We should get a shirt airbrushed of our logo.
Dude, that'd be really cool.
Kind of cool.
I got a hat right here that's got that, and it doesn't look the best,
bad,
but
but
it
if
looked
you
bad.
think-
Exactly.
yeah.
It doesn't look bad. It's just not as
Not
good as
as
the one
good
next
as
to
the
it.
hat you have on.
Yes, the hat I have on is
It's
nice.
legit.
Anyway, and I remember going in there and I'm talking to the guys, and there's a white guy in there, a couple black guys, and we're just asking like, so what do you do? What are you doing here? And they're like, oh, going to school. And the white guy's like, oh yeah, I play football here. I was like, oh, you're a Golden Lion? Because Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Golden Lions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, you're Golden Lions? Like, yeah. I'm like, oh, so what position do you do? He's like, I'm the punter. The only white guy in the whole team. He was
Punter.
the kicker.
That's
And
fair.
it fit every stereotype you could have ever imagined. It was hilarious to me. But so, yes, you can be white and go
See,
there.
and I didn't know that. And when you said HBCU and you tell you like what movie came to mind was Road Trip. Have you seen that movie back in the
Yes.
day? When they go to the historically black college, and he's like, "Don't worry, I know the handshake." And they go to it's nothing but black dudes and these guys, and it's these,
oh my gosh, I totally forgot about
and
that.
he's like, they're like, dude, and they come up and they have the hoods with them. It's so
my
funny.
gosh.
Oh yeah, it's such a good movie.
Dude, I totally forgot about that. I just replayed the scene of the handshake when they opened the door.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Like, so much
We're from
skepticism.
the Ithaca chapter.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Oh,
I totally
yes.
forgot about that. That's
So
fantastic.
good. He's like,
Great
don't
pull,
worry,
man.
I know the handshake.
Oh man, great recall on that one right there. Don't watch the movie, kids.
You know what's funny is I have kids that are the age that I was when I watched that movie. I'm like, man, dude, it was just a different time.
It was marketed to us, man. It's
big time.
crazy.
American Pie, Road Trip, Euro Trip, like all these movies. You're like,
Marketed to you.
and I'm like, part of me is like, maybe the kid should watch it. Varsity Blues, bro.
Varsity Blues, about high school football.
And oh my gosh, what was in it? I'm like, when you watch it as an adult, like with kids, your whole vision of that movie is completely different. You're like, man, dude, like I can't believe I was watching this at 16.
Dude, I know. And I will say this, I didn't see them until later, but I remember when they came out. I remember it vividly being like, hey, everyone's got to see this movie. Everyone's going to go see this movie.
Absolutely. American Pie was huge.
Enormous.
Huge.
How many sequels did it have?
In fact, American Pie is what started the MILF thing.
I don't know that we want to go down that
We're not going
road.
to go down there, but that's what I'm saying. That's how much it was advertised to us.
Yeah. What was it? Stifler's?
It was Stifler's mom.
Yeah, Stifler's
like
mom, for sure.
That's how much it was advertised. It was our generation
Wasn't
that started that whole thing.
Didn't that also like the song Stacy's Mom? Didn't they like borrow liberally from Stifler's mom?
Was that around the same time, I wonder?
I mean, Stacy's Mom was like 2005.
Dude, so have you seen the remake
2004.
of that song by a guy who's a comedian, and he's singing that? He's singing Stacy's Mom, but he's like, Stacy's Mom, what the you got going on? He just goes down like, why are you out here in a towel on? Like
with a 13-year-old boy?
Yeah, like
100%.
he totally dissects how wrong there's something wrong with Stacy's mom.
Dude,
like
I totally.
it's funny.
That is funny because that is something that I totally think about. I still totally remember when that song came out, and look, the song was one thing, and then I saw the music video much later on as an adult, and I'm even like, whoa, that's what the song's really about.
Well, yeah. Have you heard these other songs, right? That like the WAP song by whatever.
Oh, yeah,
like, all these songs now suck, right? But then if you go back and listen to some of the songs that we had, it's no different. And the parents that are complaining about the WAP song were listening to My Neck, My Back when we were in school, right? And I know you know it's
me,
baby ain't nothing but mammals.
So let's do it like they
That's
do
what I'm
on the
saying.
Discovery Channel.
Yeah,
For
and you're
real,
like,
dude.
so it's like it doesn't really change. It's
No,
just,
no.
We're
I
just
will-
mad because we're parents now.
I will say that I do feel like WAP isn't. There's no innuendo. It's just this is it.
Yeah,
it
that's
is
true.
out there. Well,
That's true.
songs we were like, okay, that's a little innuendo
Well,
in
I
there.
don't
It's not
know.
as explicit. I mean,
My Neck, My Back.
No,
I could do the lyrics to that song. It rivals WAP.
Am I gonna have to check the explicit box when I upload it this time?
No, we're not going to say what it is anymore, but it's bad.
I'm just saying, like, I do feel like that one, the WAP specifically.
Yeah, no.
And I actually, this was something that I thought was hilarious. There was speaking of comedians and their stand-up, one guy did this whole thing about how, you remember how the It's Getting Late out, oh no, what's it called? It's the Christmas song where it's like, I really can't stay, but baby, it's cold outside. Yes.
Yeah, they
And there's
made
like-
into like some craziness now.
Well, they're talking about, oh my gosh, I can't believe we allowed this song to be a thing. It's so rapey and blah, blah, blah. Talking about all the bad things about the song. When he's like, okay, so this song was written in like 1942.
Right.
Okay. And he's like, and here is the number one song from this past summer. WAP.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, we're going to go ahead and read the lyrics side by side. And you tell me which one is okay. Right. And it is unbelievable that Baby It's Cold Outside gets so much like hate during the Christmas season when he's just simply saying, hey, baby, it's cold outside. Maybe say a little longer. I mean, let's not pretend that every single one of us guys have not tried that movie.
Right, and let's not even pretend that WAP is bad. Like, how can anybody even... That's what's so wrong with our country. It's almost summed up in that comparison right there.
Yep.
Is we are socially okay. It's accepted for WAP to be a number one song on the charts, but then they want to talk about a Christmas song because, baby, it's cold outside, and it sounds a little rapey to some people.
Yeah. I mean,
what do you think WAP sounds like, dude? Jeez.
That's for real. It is audio porn. That is what that
100%. That's a great way to put it. It's exactly what it is.
I just said that it's crazy. Bring it all the way back to college, though. College is a problem because it's too expensive.
Yes.
All right.
That's where we covered that. Yes.
It has to be. There has to be a solution there. I don't to pretend to know what it is, but I mean, we talk a lot about the problems. We rarely ever come to solutions. So one of these days, we're going to have to call ourselves out on that one and say, hey, listen, if we think this is a problem, we got to have a solution to it. Today is not that day.
But we can't control the problem in college. There's nothing we can do to change it.
No. Well, I do think there's something we can do to change it.
I'm talking about me and you.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
Having that, like, we can say here's an idea, but it's going to fall on no ears that matter, because I think it's when it comes down to it, the dean or whoever, the college board, whatever it is, they only care about money. And that's the reality.
The JJ and Pug Show theme song was written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Special thanks to Highland Communities for all the support given to our show. You can find the JJ and Pug Show podcast wherever you do listen to podcasts. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember to share the show with your friends and family and subscribe wherever you do listen. If you're able to, please feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That is ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for all the support, whether that is by simply listening, whether that is sharing it with a friend, or giving us that sweet, sweet cash. We truly appreciate it all. Thank you so much.